In April 2025, everything sold out in under an hour. The jams, the honey, the flower sprinkles, the limited edition spreads. Every single product that Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand has ever put on sale disappeared from the website in 53 minutes. The internet celebrated. The headlines called it a triumph. Experts said it proved the Duchess of Sussex had successfully converted her global celebrity into commercial power. It was, by every surface-level measurement, a perfect launch. And then something happened that nobody predicted. The products sold out, and the customers did not come back. Tonight, we are telling the full verified story of as ever, Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand, its extraordinary launch, its turbulent first year, and the very serious questions that have emerged in 2026 about whether a business built on a celebrity name alone can survive when the initial excitement fades. This is not a tabloid takedown. Every single fact in tonight's investigation comes from documented reports, marketing experts, website traffic data, and Meghan's own public statements. This is Royal Report Daily, and tonight, we are looking at the numbers. Welcome to Royal Report Daily, your #1 destination for real royal news, verified investigations, and the stories the palace doesn't want you to find. I'm your host, and if you are new here, subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because what we cover on this channel, you will not find anywhere else. Every single week, we go deeper, we go further, and we go to places the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Tonight is one of those nights. Let's get into it. Let us start at the very beginning. Because to understand where as ever is in 2026, you have to understand how it got here. The brand did not start as ever. It started as American Riviera Orchard, an aspirational name evoking the California coastline, the idea of abundance, the carefully cultivated image of Meghan's life in Montecito. The problem was trademark law. Meghan's team was unable to successfully register American Riviera Orchard as a trademark. After months of legal back and forth, the brand was reborn under a new name, as ever, taken from Meghan's own sign-off phrase in personal correspondence. The relaunch came with a Netflix show, With Love, Meghan, which served as a kind of extended advertisement for the lifestyle the brand was built around. Meghan cooking, Meghan entertaining, Meghan in her garden. Meghan as the aspirational California woman who had left royal life behind and built something warm, beautiful, and entirely hers. The show launched in January 2025. The first product drop followed in April 2025. And those first products did, genuinely, sell out in under an hour. 53 minutes, to be specific. It was a real number, a documented achievement. And it appeared to confirm what many had suspected, that Meghan's global profile could be converted into genuine commercial demand. If you want to understand what happened after those 53 minutes, subscribe to Royal Report Daily right now. Because what comes next is where the real story begins. Here is what the documented evidence shows about the months following that launch. The products sold out. Meghan's team, encouraged by that demand signal, made a decision that is completely understandable from a business perspective. They increased production. They ordered more inventory, more jam, more honey, more flower sprinkles, more candles, more of the products that had, in that first hour, flown off the virtual shelves. And then something happened that the initial sellout had not predicted. Demand slowed. The Royal News Network, a Substack publication that covers royal news and has tracked as ever's inventory with considerable detail, published what became one of the most discussed pieces of royal business journalism of 2025 and 2026. In January 2026, a website glitch on the As Ever platform allowed users to add excessive quantities of items to their shopping carts, and in doing so, accidentally revealed exactly how much inventory the brand was sitting on. The numbers were striking. Approximately 650,000 products still in inventory after the Christmas period. 62,000 candles, Meghan's signature scent, sitting in stock, moving at a rate of approximately 7 units per day. Orange marmalade moving only 2 products in 12 hours. Spice cider failing to move at all during one measured period. Now, these are snapshots, not comprehensive audits. And Meghan's team has pushed back forcefully on the most dramatic interpretations of these figures. But the numbers are documented. The website glitch was real. And the inventory levels they revealed raise questions that the brand has not been able to fully answer. Like this video right now if this is giving you a picture of Meghan's business that goes beyond the headlines. And subscribe to Royal Report Daily, because what comes next is the most significant development in this story, the June 2026 reports. In June 2026, Just days ago, the situation escalated significantly in terms of media coverage. IB Times UK published a detailed report stating that as ever was reportedly facing serious financial strain, with claims circulating in the UK press that the lifestyle label could be heading toward bankruptcy as website traffic slumped and stock sat unsold. The specific numbers cited were stark. Website traffic fell by 33% between January and April 2026. That is not a small dip. That is a significant, sustained decline in people even visiting the brand's online home. And royal commentator Alison Boshoff, cited in UK coverage, noted something that any food business owner would immediately recognize as a critical problem. The expiry dates on as ever's jams, teas, and tins of flour sprinkles are getting uncomfortably close. Perishable products with falling demand and approaching expiration dates are not a combination that any brand wants to be managing simultaneously. Women's Day, citing insiders, went further. Sources told the publication that the brand could face collapse by the end of the year. One insider was quoted directly. Meghan just cannot move enough product, and she cannot expect to sell things at full price with shortened expiration dates. That is a stark assessment. And it was published on June 16, 2026. IB Times UK estimated the potential loss figure at approximately $7 million Australian dollars, or roughly $4.5 million US dollars, in unsold inventory that may not be recoverable at full price before expiration. Now let us be completely fair, because the full picture here is more complicated than the most alarming headlines suggest. Meghan's team has pushed back directly on these reports. When speaking to Page 6, a representative for Meghan questioned the Daily Mail's reporting on these issues and said, and these are their words, "The Daily Mail frequently publishes doom stories like these, and they are repetitive." The rep said these stories usually contain the same prediction, the same unnamed sources, the same certainty, and somehow we are still waiting for the apocalypse they promised. That pushback is legitimate. The Daily Mail has a long and well-documented history of publishing negative stories about Meghan Markle. Some of those stories have been accurate, others have not, and a formal business audit of as ever has not been published publicly. We do not have access to the brand's actual accounts. What we have is a website traffic decline confirmed by analytics data, 33% between January and April 2026, and a series of insider reports citing specific inventory concerns. Those are real data points. Whether they amount to a brand in terminal trouble or a brand going through a difficult period that many small businesses navigate is genuinely uncertain. And it is important to say that clearly. Do not go anywhere. Subscribe to Royal Report Daily and turn on notifications, because what comes next is what the marketing and branding experts are saying. And this is where the analysis gets genuinely insightful. The experts who have weighed in on as ever situation are not all predicting disaster, but they are identifying a specific, consistent problem that goes beyond inventory management. PR and branding specialist Renee Smith, speaking about as ever's performance in a March 2026 report published by Yahoo Entertainment and Newsweek, offered an assessment that is worth hearing carefully. She said the brand has seen some growth in website traffic, but that online interest alone does not guarantee long-term success. She stressed the importance of sales conversions, the percentage of people who visit a website and actually buy something, and repeat customers, who are the foundation of any sustainable consumer brand. She said as ever needs a clear product planning strategy to establish itself as a serious lifestyle brand. One industry source, speaking to Radar Online, made an even more pointed observation. They said, if a lifestyle brand does not clearly express what kind of life it represents, it has very limited potential. Meghan needs to show its why and why it contributes to the planet. It currently totally lacks any corporate social responsibility element. And the same source warned that if Markle stays on the same path, the coming year could look much like the last, until the business folds. The Royal News Network's detailed analysis, published in May 2025, made a case that cuts to the heart of the brand's identity challenge. The writer argued that as ever is an empty lifestyle brand devoid of soul and purpose. They noted that Meghan herself had told Fast Company she wanted to focus on the hospitality angle of as ever, but was still figuring out what the customer's needs are seasonally. The writer's conclusion, and this is their assessment, not ours, was that Meghan knows the products were not well received and that most of the initial production runs were extremely limited, making the sellout less impressive than it appeared. Now let us talk about the bigger picture. Because the as ever story is not just a business story. It is part of a larger question about what Meghan Markle's post-royal career actually looks like in 2026 and where it is heading. The Spotify deal ended after one season. The Netflix deal has produced limited output relative to the reported contract value. The American Riviera Orchard trademark could not be secured. As Ever has launched with genuine initial excitement and is now navigating real challenges. And the identity question. Is Meghan a global humanitarian leader, a lifestyle brand founder, a celebrity, an author, a television personality, has never been cleanly answered. Marketing expert Renee Smith's point about the brand needing a clear why is actually the same point that multiple experts have been making about Meghan's entire post-royal career for years. The challenge is not talent. Meghan is clearly intelligent, clearly driven, clearly capable of generating public attention. The challenge is focus. Gwyneth Paltrow built Goop, the lifestyle brand that Ever has been most frequently compared to, over many years, with a very specific audience and a very clear identity built around wellness, alternative health approaches, and a particular California aesthetic. That identity has been controversial. It has generated significant criticism, but it has been consistent. As Ever, 1 year into its existence, is still searching for that consistency. And in the consumer market, where attention is limited and loyalty must be earned through repeated positive experiences, the window for finding that consistency is not unlimited. Here is where this story ultimately lands. The launch of As Ever was real. The 53-minute sellout was real. The global attention generated by With Love Meghan was real. These are not fabricated achievements. Meghan Markle launched a consumer brand from scratch, with no retail infrastructure, no established supply chain, and no proven track record in the food and lifestyle industry, and generated genuine first-week demand that many established brands would envy. That is not nothing. But the transition from launch excitement to sustainable business is the hardest thing any consumer brand has to do. And the documented data from the first year of As Ever suggests that transition has not happened yet. Traffic is declining. Inventory is sitting. Expiration dates are approaching on perishable stock. Marketing experts are identifying a fundamental identity problem that cannot be solved with a single product drop or a Netflix show. And the financial pressure of maintaining a $14 million Montecito estate, private security, and the general cost structure of the Sussex operation, described by journalist Rob Shooter as spending like $1 billion brand, is real and ongoing. Whether As Ever survives its second year as a viable business is genuinely uncertain. Meghan's team insists it will. Critics insist it will not. The truth, as of June 2026, is that the brand is at a crossroads that every consumer business eventually reaches. The moment when the launch energy dissipates and the fundamentals take over. The moment when you find out whether what you have built can actually stand on its own. This is Royal Report Daily, and we will be watching what happens next very carefully indeed. That is all for tonight's investigation on Royal Report Daily. If this video made you think, made you feel, or made you see this story differently, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it means everything to this channel. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on notifications, because we post new investigations every week and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Share this video with one person who follows the royal story, because the more people who know the real truth, the better. I'm your host. This has been Royal Report Daily. Stay informed, stay royal, and I will see you in the next one. Sold out in 53 minutes. 650,000 products unsold 6 months later. Subscribe to Royal Report Daily and be here when As Ever story reaches its next chapter.